Welcome back to the channel. Today, I have some difficult news. I had to basically return my 7900 XTX, and it's because mine was one of the ones that was getting too hot. Now this is pretty much affecting the reference design only, like the original manufacturer's design. The AIB board partners ones, they don't have this issue. It's just the regular AMD ones that do. And I think for the most part, it's mostly the XTX. Now, I did see DeBauer's video about how it's not really sitting that tight to the cooler, and basically the temperatures are just getting out of hand. Well, DeBauer tried to get one that was one of the ones that was getting hot. Somebody ordered two. One of them was getting hot, and one of them wasn't. So the guy sent DeBauer the one that was getting hot because that's the one he wanted, so he could figure out what was wrong with it. But the guy had already torn it down and rebuilt it, just trying to like repaste it and make the card work great. And in that process, the card wasn't getting hot anymore. And basically, I think most people have come to the conclusion that it's basically just not seated very well. It's not tight enough or whatever. Now, I made this video like 3 times. This is the third iteration of this video. I did a teardown of my 7900 XTX because after seeing DeBauer's video, I'm like, man, I can do this. So I tore it apart, and while I was tearing it apart, the 4 screws that basically, tighten the die to the cooler or basically mount it there, that one of the screws was pretty loose. It wasn't loose to where like it's gonna fall off, but it certainly wasn't tight. And I'll probably show that clip here in a second or as I'm talking. Oh, this one was fairly loose. Look at this. That one was pretty loose. Huh. I slapped my card back together and I started seeing some really good temps, and I was getting excited. I'm like, all right, we're back. I don't have to return this. I don't need to go out and get one of the AIB ones that's a Red Devil or a Nitro. I'm like, we're good. We're golden. I was feeling really relieved about this because the night before I was laying in bed and I'm like, man, what should I do? Because my card is getting hot. It's shutting off my computer. My computer, remember I had the 850 power supply issue? At least we thought it was the 850 power supply issue. Well, my 1000 started turning off too. And the more I looked into this, it wasn't really, I don't think it's really the power management that was the issue. I believe it was actually the heat. It got so hot, it just shut off. So I can't really confirm this, but a 1000 power supply should not be shutting off. Even if there were some transient spikes bumping up to 725, it shouldn't really trip it, but it's possible. However, I've been able to have successful runs repeatedly on multiple programs. When the card is cool, it doesn't shut off, but when it gets really hot, it tends to shut off. So not all the time, but more often than not. So I was running the 3D Mark benchmarks, and I just noticed that after my rebuild of the 7900 XTX, and after I thought it was running cool for a little while, it started getting hot again. It started hitting, 85, 90, 95, 100, 103, and I'm like, all right, let me just turn this off. And I shut down my PC, and basically today I returned it because thankfully I had the Micro Center warranty, the extended warranty that they offer. It's like an extra $100 or 130 or whatever, depending on what the total price is for what you're buying. But I'm glad I had that because going through the traditional RMA process, this takes a bit longer. I was able to basically turn the card in, full refund, and I was able to get another card. Now, I really wanted another XTX. Not in particular the original design. I wanted one of those. I wanted a Red Devil. I wanted a Nitro Plus. I was willing to pay a little bit of extra for it, whether it was $150, but none in stock. So I'm like, what do I do? Do I Do I take the credit and wait? Do I downgrade a little bit and get the 7900 XT? They had a red devil there. I thought about it. At least they did on the website. I didn't actually see it in the store, but so I thought about, getting the XT again. I kind of wanted something similar. I wanted something that was I wanted the XTX. They didn't have that. They didn't have a 7900 XT either. So both cards are actually selling out at my Micro Center's location. Um, the only cards that were available were the 4080s, and a fair amount of them too, like three or four different ones. More just came in on the truck, and I thankfully I have currently a 3070 Ti Gaming X Trio. However, I listed it for sale yesterday, and I have a buyer coming to look at it. So I was going from two graphics cards to basically today potentially being at zero, no graphics cards, and that would probably put me at zero tomorrow because I can't go to Micro Center every day. It's a 35-minute drive at least, and the fuel just adds up, especially in a truck. So I bit the bullet. It feels bad, and it shouldn't feel bad, but it feels bad because it's not the one I exactly wanted, and for the most part, it is kind of like it shouldn't be. But just like the 7900 XT, the 4080 is considered kind of like the I don't know the stepchild that somebody doesn't want, which is unfair, right? Totally. If you are a stepchild, don't worry about it. Hopefully your stepdad's cool or your stepmom. But you know what I mean? Like it feels bad because the price is wrong on the 4080, right? It's too high, and all cars are too high. And then same thing with the 7900 XT. The price is too high, right? but it also kind of that one to me makes a little more sense than this one because the 7900 XT, if you make it cheaper, then you're bumping into the 79 the then you're bumping into the 6950s. And if AIB partners are trying to sell the 6950s and AMD launches the 7900 XT at a lower price, it's going to make it harder to move those 7950s. So I kind of understand that. This is really high and it's not affecting anything except for Nvidia's pockets, right? It's just helping them. It's helping them and hurting us. And unfortunately, it's like, all right, I have an $1,100 trade in basically. And this is a couple hundred more bucks. So I got this. It's just so weird because it's like I'm not as excited or as grateful as I should be. And it's a really weird feeling. Like this is probably the first graphics card that I'm like not actually excited about. Like I should be because it's a great card. It's just the prices. I think the prices just mess it all up for both teams. So anyway, we're gonna plug this baby in and get some testing done. And here's the thing. When when they're available to buy, I will be selling this to somebody and getting the XTX back. So at least that's my plan for now. My plan is my plan was to be Team Red this time because I don't like Nvidia. They're pissing me off. But now both teams are pissing me off a little bit, right? So temporarily we're going 4080. That's the plan for now. And when they're available, I will have a Red Devil or a Sapphire Nitro Plus XTX. So kind of weird. I should be excited. I don't know. I think I must be spoiled now. This is what spoiled is like. Doesn't feel good. I'll tell you that right. It does not feel that great. So anyway, I'm gonna plug this in, get some numbers. At least I have the XTX to compare it to. The only part that kind of bothers me a little bit is maybe some of my numbers were skewed because of my heat issue. So I did try to fix it myself before bringing it into the store. There were no do not tamper with things on that board, which is really cool. And I like that AMD did that because you do have the right to repair. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to fix mine, so I had to bring it back. Um, yeah. So hopefully, if you're out there and you got one of those cards, not all the 7900 XTX cards have that issue, but there might be, I don't know, a good chunk of them that do. So I guess we'll find out more as time goes on, and hopefully AMD makes this right somehow. It doesn't seem like that's the case initially, but if you shop anywhere, I'm a big advocate for Micro Center. Okay, yeah, you pay more for the extended warranty. You hope you never need it, but if you do, you get your money back, and you can get credit or possibly even the cash back or whatever. But I took store credit because I knew I was going to be picking up another card. So if you want to know if you should have a warranty, probably if you're buying in this range, I would say probably a good idea if you're buying in any range, really. But that's all for today. I'll catch you as soon as I get some of these benchmarks done. Have a good one.